Welcome to my graduate research project. My name is Chandra Haymon. I'm in the HR leadership class for Professor Diane Sanchez at Amberton University for the summer 2020 semester. Our topic for today is servant leadership. We'll be discussing the significance of utilization in the IT industry and the impact it has on employee engagement. Today's agenda, our main topics will be defining servant leadership. Literature review will be over the pros and cons of utilizing servant leadership within our organization, the values of servant leadership, how servant leadership promotes engagement within the workplace, recommendations for using servant leadership, and last but not least, my conclusion and discussion. What is servant leadership? Greenleaf refers to it as the servant leader is a servant first. It begins with a natural feeling that one wants to serve first. Servant leadership is a philosophy and set of practices that enriches the lives of individuals, builds better organizations, and ultimately creates a more just and caring world. Servant leaders provide direction and challenging responsibilities for their employees while offering empathy, emotional support, feedback, and resources. A servant leader can be conceived as a role model for his followers or her followers that holds the organization in trust while remaining aware of their needs and situations. In fact, the servant leader is sincerely committed to empowering the employees in their organization with the aim of succeeding professionally and personally. As we move on, we'll discuss the pros and cons of servant leadership within the workplace. Some of the benefits of servant leadership will be decisions are made in the best interest of the organization, not just one or two people. Employees are able to speak up and give their point of view on certain situations and how they would feel. Managers and leaders look at requests from staff through the lens of what is best for the business and can say no when it is not. When we are best serving our organization and the other people who work in it, we are actually best serving the customer. This researcher worked for a servant leadership organization, and their vision statement was to make a remarkable difference for each other first, then our customers, and within our communities. We believe that in order to satisfy our customers, we have to keep our employees happy. And so, in order to make that remarkable difference for our employees, which generated to our customers and also within our communities, it helped everyone around us paint a bigger picture of leadership. It helped our staff grow and succeed and helps staff grow as a leader, and it sets the tone for the organization. Some negatives of servant leadership may be that it takes longer to make decisions within the organizations because you have more input from your employees. Leaders must do whatever the staff asks of them. It takes too long to teach and retrain leaders to think like a servant leader. The leader can be perceived as weak. And leaders do not have any formal authority to get things done. Although there are a few negatives, the value of this type of leadership outweighs it all. Next, we will be discovering the values of servant leadership, the elements and skills needed for a successful team. Our first element would be honoring others. Albert Einstein once said, "I speak to everyone the same way, whether he is a garbage man or the president of the university." This simple statement perfectly encapsulates the concept of purposefully honoring others before yourself. By speaking to everyone as if they are genuinely important, no matter their position in life, Einstein is demonstrating genuine respect for all people. Respect defines the underlying attitude of a servant leader. Some of the keys to honoring others would be: affirm dignity by recognizing and responding to the needs of your team. Actively resolve issues. Never wait for things to just get better. Respect people of all positions through word and behavior. The next element would be to inspire vision before setting the course. The value of servant leadership is to inspire vision before setting the course. This concept is often missed in two different ways, both of which can dramatically affect the outcome. The first obstacle is when leaders fail to set a vision before taking action. These organizations end up moving very quickly, but lack of direction jeopardizes the entire investment. Beyond leaving a team directionless and disconnected, it prevents leadership from ever measuring success in a meaningful way. Great leaders work to establish a vision that goes far beyond what they can see, and full buy-in from their team. Vision from leadership and buy-in from teams produce an inspiring atmosphere where nearly any goal becomes possible. Some keys to inspiring vision would be to model the way for your team. Help your team realize how each person's role contributes to a larger picture. Be sure to not only the what and how of your vision, but also the why. The next element would be choose ethics before profit. Business ethics must be practiced daily. There is an immeasurable value that moral character brings to leadership. Great leaders prioritize the value of character over profit, so they refuse to take advantage of opportunities for dishonest gain. They also recognize that in the long run, acting with integrity ultimately results in greater opportunity for lasting success and reduces the long-term risk of the organization as a whole. Keys to choosing ethics. Be clear on non-negotiables that define your integrity, especially with yourself. Identify how integrity will increase your long-term profitability or success. Remember, ethical business practices reduce long-term risk. The next element will be empowering others before personal gain. Leaders who care about leveraging and empowering their team create a safe environment that encourages confident decisions. This type of safety gives a team permission to take smart risks with your guidance and, more often than not, achieve greater outcomes. These leaders also seek to understand a personal goal of team members, searching for the overlap between personal and organizational goals. By knowing and prioritizing these shared goals, a leader can shape team responsibilities to max internal motivations of each team member. Some keys to empowering others would be to create a safe environment for employees to grow. Allow for risks to be taken with growth and development of team members in mind. Uncover and cultivate shared goals that inspire ownership of work responsibility. The next skill would be privilege people before tasks. There is no greater value than a team that desires to carry out their responsibilities with passion. Such a team originates with leaders that understand and express these individual and collective values of their team. Many leaders have difficulty distinguishing how they can affirm and respect their team while still maintaining their full authority over the team. However, leaders that underappreciate their employees, as with previous servant values, end up with a dissatisfied team, a culture of negativity, and subpar workmanship. However, as a solution to this dilemma, it's impressing to value through respect, consideration, and simple encouragement. Some of the keys to empowering others will be to show tangible appreciation for your team through both word and deed. Put people first over money and time, and be proactively kind to your team, routinely finding ways to encourage them and support them. The last skill would be to serve with humility before all else. Humility is not thinking less of yourself. It's thinking of yourself less. Said by pastor and author Rick Warren. It's because when a leader gives an honest assessment of oneself, they will always find new opportunities for growth. It's how some of the greatest leaders have cultivated high-powered teams, teams that are truthful and clear-eyed in their observations. It's too easy for leadership positions to become an ivory tower, too far removed from the needs and the wisdom of the broader team. It takes intentional action to signal to a team that you are not distant, isolated, or too important for them. Some of the keys to flexible focus would be to recognize that every leader has room for improvement, including yourself. Always ask others how you are doing, and never stop reevaluating your performance. Look for boring tasks you can do and opportunities to connect with others that demonstrate you are truly approachable. How does servant leadership promote engagement? Klein showed that there is a relationship between servant leadership and employee engagement via the mediating factor of trust and fit. Open communication provides the opportunity for employees to open up their line of communication and express certain ideas or views to management with servant leadership. Understanding how servant leadership improves employee engagement, even though it's important that leadership exemplify the traits of good leaders need to be effective and guide employees to success. Leaders should also be seen as servants and helpers to their teams. Servant leadership is a concept that can improve how leaders connect with their employees and how their employees perform. The first would be bridging the gap. Leaders should not only be found at the head of the pack, but within the pack as well. What this means is that leaders should be wherever they are needed, whether it's in front and center or in the middle of the battlefield, providing troops with aid. Before taking care of their own needs, leaders first take care of the needs of others, recognizing that doing so benefits the unit as a whole. The next would be fostering trust. No matter how much experience a leader has, team members are more likely to trust and follow a leader if he or she embodies characteristics and qualities that promote a sense of trust. Such qualities include being authentic, relatable, and free of ego. Once the seed of trust has been planted, practicing these qualities and characteristics is the water that helps the seed to grow in a stable and healthy tree of trust that's sure to last for years to come. Next will be listening more than speaking. Employee engagement is also improved when a leader listens more than she or he speaks. Listening helps leaders to better understand just what it is the team wants to accomplish in order for their objectives, can help support that desire. Leaders should also take the time to truly study and reflect on what they hear so that they can become the leaders their teams need rather than the leaders that they want to be, which may be odd with the best for the team. The next will be self-care. Leaders should be servants to themselves as well as their employees and teams, which this means that leaders should take out the time to take care of themselves outside of the workplace. Self-care allows leaders to operate at peak efficiency, and it also makes for a better work-life balance. Matters outside of the workplace that are neglected often have a way of encroaching on work performance, which can trickle down into team performance. The next would be creating something sustainable. When a leader starts to embrace the servant aspect of his or her role, it sets the stage for building something that's sustainable and will remain within the company long after the leader and team move on. The company will become one known for its fair and impartial leaders, ones who are willing to help employees just as much as they are willing to lead them in the right direction. This can be a key factor in bringing in new employees, ones who can help build a company and make it better than ever. Implications for social change. Leadership may change according to the generations that are present, as well as the management style that is being utilized around us. It's important, especially being in the HR field, that we continue to grow and learn from our surroundings. As we conclude, I found a quote by Phil Jackson that says that the strength of the team is each individual member. The strength of each member is the team. Leadership is vital to any organization. It affects the growth and development of every organization. Servant leadership can help increase the growth, the development, the attrition and employee engagement by starting with valuing our employees. Thank you for your attention. My name is Chandra Haymon. The growth, the development, the attrition, and employee engagement by starting with valuing our employees. Thank you for your attention. My name is Chandra Haymon.